It is located at 1370 Churchill Drive in New Braunfels. Over 75 original furniture items, handmade in Texas, dating from the mid-19th century, form the central focus of this unique museum.
I'm going to go in now and let's look at the exhibit inside.
Approaching the entrance now are the Dillons.
They were genteel, wonderful preservationists who absolutely were consumed with a passion of preserving the past to protect the future because they knew what was important to them.
Their dream was to move to New Braunfels, and they opened the antique and the interior decorating business. And they saw so many of our old buildings being destroyed, and they were very instrumental in talking people into buying them and restoring them.
They lived in the Midwest, came from Kansas area, and were definitely affiliated with a lot of refined furniture pieces, and they had a real passion for this area, and they just embraced it and loved the property, and they loved the house.
Now we're back on the grounds of the museum, looking at the front of the home.
At the time of their retirement, they created the Heritage Society of New Braunfels to maintain their rather large collection of locally crafted handmade furniture. The buildings that are here on property have all been donated over the years. Usually it's a surprise. We get a call out of the blue and somebody says, well, my grandparents' home is crumbling to pieces and we'd like to donate to you. The bulk of it is actually what was donated by Bill and Nan Dillon. These buildings, most of them are about 150 years old, and it takes a massive amount of work and preservation to keep them up and running.
You do have to have a good fundraiser, and it's not easy, and once you get one, that is one of the things that draws members to you.
This is run by volunteer docents. They run tours, guided tours daily. Annually, we usually get about 10,000 visitors to the museum, although most of that is through our Living History program, where we allow the area third graders to come in and have field trips here. We have them dip candles. We have an artillery display. We also had a old-time medicine show out here and a string band. We had broom making and a weaving demonstration. The blacksmith was out here doing his thing. I'm currently looking into ways that we can expand our membership and expand our reach in the community. I'm also looking into ways that we can do more educational outreach.
Having events on the grounds is very important. We have an annual Folk Fest that is a celebration of early Texian living. That is spectacular, and for generations that have no earthly idea how early lifestyle was like, we are able to create that for them. How many people are interested in history anymore? You know, I think there are a lot of people that are interested in history, but they need to be invited in. I guess the best way to invite someone in is to bring them into the fold, and when we have an event, you bring in your volunteers. And volunteers are people who have never been to the property, have never been to the museum, and they go, wow, this is so cool, I had no idea it was here. I know, that's why we're here. Now you're in the family.
People that came before us were confronting the same sort of problems we have. And all we have left are what they wrote and the culture they left behind and the tangible objects, which can range from buildings, places where they lived, and they created those to meet the demands of the time with the resources they had available, and the objects that fit into those buildings, which reflect their daily activities. They created those things for a purpose, and it fulfilled the needs that they had at the time. So preserving and having institutions that have this information is critically important for us to have a culture that continues into the future.
Our next big project, well, we're working on a vision for the property, and an ultimate vision would be to have a learning center, an interactive learning center that would be more of a hands-on.
For this museum, I think if we continue the way we are, we have done quite a bit of research, and I think we know more about the handmade furniture, and I think we're stressing that, and we're becoming the authority. People call us, send emails and say, is this handmade, or I have this. I foresee we are going to need more display room.
Most communities don't have the resources, don't have the interest, and don't have the support. All of those are present here in New Braunfels.
And you have to have that. You have to be fearless in today's world to be able to go and do something new. Fearless is probably the key word in any venture that you're going to do, whether it's business, nonprofit, whatever it is. But you have to be bold and be courageous, be fearless about it, and have that strong passion. And this is like, we've got a story to tell, and it's an amazing story, so let's tell it.
We preserve the past so that people in the present and the future can have some context and know how their forefathers lived. It's a beautiful thing. Because if you know where you came from, then it's a lot easier to see where you're going.
And welcome to the Museum of Texas Handmade Furniture.